Imagine paying less for a full 3-course meal than you currently pay for a single coffee in America. Imagine renting a spacious, sun-drenched apartment for the same price as a one-weekend hotel stay in New York or London. Picture yourself taking a taxi all the way across the capital city for less than the price of a bus ticket back home. It sounds like a dream, but in several parts of the world, this is the daily reality. However, cheap does not always mean easy. Some places are shockingly affordable because they are hidden gems that the world has yet to fully discover. Others are cheap because there is a significant catch. In this video, we are breaking down the top 10 countries where your money has the most power. Stay tuned because country number 1 might be the cheapest place on the entire planet, but I would not recommend it to everyone. Before we dive into the list, we need to set the rules. We aren't just looking at the lowest possible survival cost, because living in a tent in a desert is cheap, but it isn't a lifestyle. We are ranking these countries based on real-life affordability and the overall cost of living for a comfortable, modern life. We are evaluating 4 main pillars. First is food costs, including street food, local groceries, and dining at mid-range restaurants. Second is rent, specifically for a basic apartment or long-stay housing in a safe area. Third is transport, looking at the price of buses, taxis, scooters, and trains. Finally, we look at lifestyle value, which covers high-speed internet, safety, healthcare access, and ease of getting a visa. It is important to remember that cost of living rankings vary depending on who you ask. Platforms like Nomad use crowdsourced data from thousands of residents to track real-time prices, while the World Population Review notes that different lists rank countries differently based on whether they prioritize local salaries or foreign purchasing power. This list is about where your money feels the most powerful. It's about the geographic arbitrage that allows you to live like royalty on a middle-class budget. Starting our list at number 10 is Mexico. Now, Mexico is a massive country, and the main angle here is that it is incredibly affordable, but only if you avoid the tourist bubble. If you spend your time in the hotel zones of Tulum, Cancun, or Playa del Carmen, you will find American prices or higher. However, the moment you step into the real Mexico, the prices drop off a cliff. Local food is one of the biggest value points here. You can find incredible street tacos for less than $1 and a full comida corrida, a traditional 3-course lunch for about $5 or $6. Public transport and local markets are also remarkably cheap. The price changes fast depending on your city. While Mexico City is becoming a global hub for the digital nomad community and prices are rising, smaller colonial cities like Querétaro, Mérida, or Oaxaca offer a much higher quality of life for a fraction of the cost. The catch? Mexico is cheap until you live like a tourist. If you want a Western-style luxury condo in a beachfront zone, you'll pay for it. But if you live like a local, your budget will stretch further than you ever thought possible. Bulgaria is 9th in Europe, the cheap entryway to Europe. Bulgaria offers the European lifestyle, history, cobblestone streets, mountain views, and cafe culture, without Paris or London pricing. This region has cheaper groceries and rent than Western Europe. Sofia, the capital, is the most costly city in the country, yet one of the cheapest in the European Union. Cheaper prices are even more astonishing in smaller cities like Plovdiv and Bansko, a distant worker center. Modern one-bedroom apartments rent for under $400 per month. However, local salaries are low, thus imported electronics and branded items may cost more than expected. International workers can afford a high-standard European lifestyle in Bulgaria. Georgia is 8th. The country, not the state. Georgia may be the most underrated digital nomad destination. Tbilisi, the capital, has grown in prominence due to its unique blend of old heritage and modern infrastructure. Food and wine are legendary and affordable here. A fresh khachapuri costs roughly $1 at a local bakery. The country is known for its beautiful mountains, unusual alphabet, and hospitable culture. It feels more advanced and safe than expected for the price. However, Tbilisi rents have skyrocketed in the last 2 years due to its popularity. Your location and timing determine how cheap Georgia is, but it remains a budget powerhouse. We leave Europe for India at number 7. India's affordability is among the world's largest. You may spend like a king or spend little in this country if you know where to live and how to handle the local systems. Street food and small restaurants often serve entire meals for under $2. The enormous train network and local rickshaws give huge value to users. Mumbai and South Delhi have rents that equal New York, while smaller cities and neighborhoods can be astonishingly cheap. Culture, history, and cheap living are ideal in India. The catch is the comfort gap. In India, affordable and comfortable living are far apart. It costs extra to get Western-style infrastructure, air conditioning, and quiet, yet it's still one of the cheapest places on Earth. Indonesia ranks 6th. You should know that Indonesia is affordable, not just Bali. Due to its popularity, Bali, the most popular location, has suffered price inflation. Yogyakarta on Java and Lombok are great values. Outside of Canggu and Uluwatu, Bali's local food and scooter travel are affordable. A scooter costs $60 a month, and warungs serve food for $2. Indonesia's beaches, rice fields, and colorful marketplaces make it feel like a luxurious resort even on a budget. Tourist zones can raise prices quickly, and some localities have a foreigner tax. 5th, Colombia, South America. Colombia offers a large life cheaply. The lifestyle value is strong without being overly basic or underdeveloped. Cities like Medellin are known for their eternal spring weather, resulting in significant savings on heating and cooling costs. Local meals, Menú del Dia, are cheap and plentiful. Domestic travel is cheap, letting you experience the Caribbean coast, coffee area, and Andes Mountains. Safety in Colombia varies greatly by neighborhood. That country rewards people who research and choose their location intelligently. 4th in the Andes is Ecuador. Ecuador has some of the best Western Hemisphere value ignored by its neighbors. Many travelers avoid exchange rate issues because its currency is the US dollar. Food, markets, and transportation are affordable outside elite tourist regions. Ecuador has colonial elegance in Cuenca and Quito, Rocky Mountains, and stunning beaches. Retirees and those seeking a slower, quieter lifestyle love it. Unfortunately, infrastructure and safety vary by location, and it lacks the high-energy nightlife and digital nomad infrastructure of its neighbors. Vietnam is number 3. Vietnam may be the most affordable, comfortable, and exciting on this list. Street food is shockingly cheap here. World-class pho and banh mi sandwiches cost roughly $1 on most street corners. Rent in Da Nang and Hanoi is modest relative to Western norms, and the scooter and grab transportation system is efficient and affordable. Vietnam frequently ranks among the best value countries for a comfortable budget in World Population Review and other cost of living indices. The catch? Traffic is chaotic, heat is high, and visa rules are inconsistent. Cambodia ranks 2nd. Cambodia ranks high in Southeast Asia for affordability. Raw, real, and surprisingly livable. Basic services, food, and rent are cheap in Phnom Penh and Siem Reap. It still has 50-cent beers and good apartments for $300 a month. This is ideal for those seeking low expenses and simplicity. Unfortunately, infrastructure, healthcare, and comfort typically lag behind Thailand and Vietnam. Not the most polished country, but it's hard to beat for low monthly cost. Nepal tops the list. Nepal may have the biggest price shock. It is incredibly affordable, especially for simple local living. Kathmandu and Pokhara have dirt cheap rent and cents for meals. Nepal is ideal for nature, trekking, and spiritual culture lovers above luxury and high-speed malls. The cost of living here is a fraction of practically everywhere else. However, not everyone can do it. Kathmandu's infrastructure is rudimentary, pollution is bad, internet is inconsistent, and healthcare is scarce outside the cities. This is why the cheapest country is not always better. Rank these by best value, not cheapest price, and the list changes. Vietnam offers the best value, the perfect balance of cost and quality. Bulgaria and Georgia are great for inexpensive European living. Colombia delivers the best Latin American lifestyle value. Nepal or Cambodia are best for ultra-low spending and a rougher living. Before packing, we must discuss hidden charges. Comparing local prices when living abroad is the biggest error. If you go to a cheap country but exclusively eat at Western restaurants, stay in Airbnbs instead of local homes, and buy imported goods, you'll spend virtually as much as back home. Visa extensions, private health insurance, a must, and vacation flights home are other hidden costs. Cheapest countries aren't usually greatest. The best country is where money goes far without sacrificing quality. Would you rather live somewhere cheap but uncomfortable, or pay more for great infrastructure? Comment the country that surprised you most, because in the future video, I'll discuss countries that appear cheap online but are actually very expensive. Meet you there.